Rammohan Roy is regarded as a great reformer of Hindu society. He actively cooperated with the British in changing or banning certain Hindu practices. But in this lesson, we are going to examine what is the overall view of Hinduism he took, by which he can say something is good, something is bad, and something should be changed. So what is his view of Hinduism is what we are going to discuss. But before that, certain basics. Rammohan Roy lived during this time, 1770 to 1833. That is before Sipahi Mutiny. He died before Sipahi Mutiny. His father was a Jamindar. He himself invested in business. So he's a businessman as well. And he's a extremely well-read man. He has knowledge of Perso-Arabic, classical Greek, Vedantic, and modern Western thought. And he knows 10 languages: Persian, Arabic, English, Urdu, Hindi, Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and French. And he read so much of religious literature. For example, Quran, Sufism, Buddhism, Christianity, Vedas and Upanishads, and Western political thought: Plato, Aristotle, Locke, Hume, Bentham. So he is steeped in religious knowledge as well as Western knowledge. Religious as well as Western. So he knows a lot. He knows a lot. But even with all this knowledge, what do you make of Hinduism is an issue. Okay. Because what is Hinduism? It consists of too many texts, practices, philosophies, schools of thought, lot of irrationality. Brahminism, superstitions. So Hinduism is not one. There are so many things, many bad things and many good things. So what did Rammohan Roy do? Rammohan Roy took what he regarded as the highest in Hinduism, that is Vedanta. Okay. What is Vedanta in a nutshell? It can be stated in a variety of ways, but we know one way of stating is there is God, an individual. An individual is a manifestation of God. And individual in the end should merge with God. So this is regarded as liberation. So this is also popularized by Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya. So Rammohan Roy takes this Vedanta as the main thing, as the central thing. Okay. And when he takes this as a main thing, what he does is that all the Western values included and all the Indian evils excluded. This is his innovation. So the Vedanta he chooses lives up to the or inclusive of the values that the West glorifies, and it excludes what Roy thinks as the evils coming from Indian society. So this is how he chose Vedanta. Okay. Now let us go to his main points. Okay. This is called Brahmoism. 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 There is one God. He is infinite, manifest everywhere, and he is a singular author of the universe. This is also called Brahman. Brahman is not the same thing as Brahmin, a caste name. It is Brahman. And an individual is a being. He comes from God and finally goes back to God. Okay. And what should an individual do? He should have right conduct. He should use his reason. he should have knowledge, and he has the will to alter his life. Okay. So he is rejecting fate. And in this, there need not be rituals, nor intermediaries between Brahman and oneself, no priests, nor any specific places, temples. And this Brahman is formless, no idolatry. And it is only one, so no polytheism, no dogma, no superstitions. And one has to realize the truth through reason and knowledge and right conduct. There are no gurus, no prophets, no avatars, and there is nothing like a revelation. And since Brahman is manifested in every life form, distinction based on caste, creed, race, not necessary, or they are wrong. Okay. How about the soul, rebirth, and karma? He doesn't take any stand. He thinks individuals can choose their beliefs. So, coming to what he regarded as problems of Indian traditions, he rejected idolatry, rejected polytheism, and also Western values are incorporated in this. No distinctions based on caste, creed, race. Okay. And then you can't blindly believe a scripture. And scripture should be subjected to reason. Reason is more important. When there is a conflict, one should go by reason. So one cannot say that some sacred text contains the final truth. So Roy took this to be essence of Hinduism. Okay. He wrote these books. Gift to Days in 1803, describing the evils of Bengali society. And who gave these evils? The priestly class gave these evils. And between 1815 to 1823, he published translation and abridgment of Vedanta and translation of several Upanishads. And these Vedanta as well as Upanishads, he went by basically Sankara's perspective. Okay. And he thought of himself doing the work that Luther did for Christianity. Roy was inspired by Martin Luther, who finally caused the split of Christianity and the formation of Protestantism. Okay. It is to propagate these ideals, he founded a society, Brahmo Sabha, in 1828, which later called Brahma Samaj. Why should this be called Brahmo Samaj? Samaj refers to society. Society for the worshippers of Brahman. Brahman being the ultimate reality. Okay. So this is what he thought of Hinduism. And next, so what should one do about this? There, he thought state has a role even in religious activities and in social reform. Okay. He wanted the state should take up religious as well as social reform in the case of Hindus and introduce Western education. Western education will bring not only science and technology but also reasoning, questioning. It will bring modern values. Okay. So, this is the Hinduism he chose. And he defined it in such a way that it was at a very high level, leaving many details, and higher philosophical level, and eliminates many evils and includes Western values. Western values. Okay. Includes Western values. So, what Rammohan Roy did would actually be taken up by others too, like Vivekananda, Aurobindo, and even Gandhi. Okay. With the same approach of bring the best of Hinduism and the best as a way of answering to the West. Okay, where is Vedanta, for example, in Gandhi's approach? Gandhi's approach is ability to transform the other. And how can one be transformed? Because there is Brahman, even in a bad person. And Brahman in him can be made to, through Brahman, he can be made to realize his goodness. This is what Satyagraha is. So, the best of Hinduism Roy took and provided a kind of inspiration or a thought or a hypothesis to others. So in that way, he is gearing up Indian society for the project of modernization. Think about it.